Hey everybody, this is Moballer12. I'm going to finish up this discussion on esters. So what I want you guys to do at this moment right now is pause the video and try attempting doing these 5 problems on your own. Get an answer and compare your answers to mine. That's the way you guys are going to learn, from doing problems on your own. So I'm going to run through this pretty quickly. I'm going to save the first reaction for last, the first problem for last, because it is a little bit confusing since we're dealing with a ester in a ring. So I'm going to start off with the second problem. So again, pause the video, try the problems on your own, compare your answers to mine. Okay. So here we have an ester reacting with a amine. We're going to form an amide, and the amide we're going to form is done so by replacing this OR group with the piece I have in brackets here. So our first product will look like this. And then our second product will look like this, which is our alcohol from this piece here. And as you can see, the alcohol we form in this case is a secondary alcohol. Remember, it could be a primary, secondary, or tertiary, the leaving group. In this case, it's secondary. And again, all we have to do is replace this with the piece I have in brackets and realize through the course of the mechanism you lose an H. And as you can see, we don't have that H anymore in our product. Okay. The third reaction, let me just zoom in a tad bit so you guys can see it. The third reaction, here we have an ester again, reacting with lithium aluminum hydride, and then in the second step we have this workup. So we form our alcohol from this piece here. So let's draw that first. And that alcohol is known as phenol. Special type of alcohol. There's our alcohol that we form from that leaving group. And the other alcohol we form, remember, in this case when we're reacting with lithium aluminum hydride, this piece that I'll put in brackets now is always going to be a primary alcohol. And if you recall, I showed you guys that in order to draw the primary alcohol, all we have to do is erase one of the bonds from the carbonyl and add an H to the oxygen, and that's what we're going to do to draw our other product. Hold on, that didn't look good. So all you have to do is erase one of the bonds from the carbonyl. That's what the originally we had another bond here, and all we do is add an H to the oxygen, and there's our other product, a primary alcohol. And again, in order to designate the H's that were from the lithium aluminum hydride, they're right there. In the fourth reaction, here we have a ester reacting with diol H, and we have again a workup. We have a workup step for our second step. Again, this piece right here will form our alcohol. And all we have to do is replace this piece here with a hydrogen to form our aldehyde, and that is what we're going to form. And then finally we're going to draw our alcohol from this piece here, which in this case is going to be a primary alcohol, and there we have it. And the fifth reaction, here we have a ester again reacting with the Grignard reagent. Specifically, the Grignard reagent is this organometallic reagent with the R group being a methyl group. Again, we form our alcohol from this piece, which I'll draw over here. Let me draw. And it looks like this. There you have it. And then our other product that we form, remember I said here in the third reaction we always form, in the third reaction here we formed a primary alcohol. In this case we're going to form a tertiary alcohol. So this piece here is where we're going to generate our tertiary alcohol, and what we have to do is add this methyl group twice to the carbon of the carbonyl. So in order to draw our product, what we'll have to do is have 2 of these methyl groups at this position, erase one of the bonds from the carbonyl and add an H. So it will look like this, and I'll put a mark, I'll put a little asterisk where the carbon of the carbonyl is located, so you guys can see how this is going to look. So that's what we have so far, right? Erase one of the bonds from the carbonyl and then add an H. That's what we did here. and that's our carbon that I've designated here as well. And all we have to do is add a methyl group there, add another methyl group there, so 2 methyl groups. And again, these CH3 groups came from the Grignard reagent right here. So that's the 5th reaction. And let's go back to the first reaction. Let me zoom out just a tad bit. And let's go back to the top. This might be a little bit confusing, so that's why I saved up a little bit of time to explain it. Here we have a ester reacting with H+ under acidic conditions in the presence of water, right? So this is going to generate a carboxylic acid and a alcohol, as I've discussed in the first part. So all we have to do is, again, this piece right here, there's going to be a cleavage that's going to occur. Hold on one second. In this case, there's going to be a cleavage that's going to occur right here at that position right there. So, you know, the rules that I've been explaining in regards to just regular esters that are not in a ring are going to be a little bit different from the rules applying to esters that are in the ring when we're talking about drawing the products. So in order to draw the product in the case of an ester that's in a ring, all you have to do is cleave the bond between the carbon and oxygen. It's not really that much different, but this will help out. Cleave the bond between the carbon of the carbonyl and oxygen, and in this case, since we're forming a carboxylic acid, we're going to put an OH there, right? And then we're going to generate our alcohol as such. And that's pretty much it. That's how you do it. Hopefully you guys can see that.